back with our Sharing for Success sessions. Today with Debs Ryder from Mad Ideas. How are you this morning, Debs?
I am awesome on this lovely sunny day.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Could you tell me a little bit about yourself and about your company?
So Mad Ideas is an outsourced marketing company, and that just means that I effectively am the marketing company for companies who can't afford to have a person in-house or, who are still in that development phase. So I work a lot with small companies. In fact, I work with companies of every size. So I've got some smaller guys in the 1 or 2 staff area, right up to people who've got 120 staff. So for those bigger companies, I'm writing the strategy, I'm writing the marketing plan, I'm implementing it, and any marketing or communication with the clients comes from me. For the smaller guys, it's very often things like a website, and then they're coming back to me for ongoing advice on how to talk to their clients or what they should do next in the development of their company.
Okay,
so really, it's, I can be as much help or as little help as anybody needs, but I have a wide range of skills and I can take everyone's marketing off their hand if that's what they're after.
Perfect. And I guess at the moment, people are really looking at online marketing to how they're being presented, given that we're not doing a lot of face-to-face work.
Right now, obviously there's a huge surge in inquiries about web marketing and online strategies. That's not something you can roll out overnight. You've got, for immediacy, you still have things like social media and Facebook where you can communicate what's happening within your business. If you have a website, then you can be updating with things like announcements of time and hours and things like that. But to build a site from scratch still takes a few weeks. So yeah, I've got some inquiries about people who've seen the need and see how it can be working 24/7 for them when they can't. And that's just starting in development now, really, hopefully, for 3 or 4 weeks' time.
Yeah. And what sort of key advice are you offering to your customers at the moment?
Look, I think don't panic. Everybody's in the same boat, but this is a unique opportunity that most businesses don't get. This is a chance to really sit down and look at your company, look at what you're doing well, look at where the gaps are. Look at your products, what's changed since you started. Most of us don't have time to really just stop and do the overview. So this is a chance to go, where am I at? Where do I want to be? And how am I going to get there? And really, if you're starting from scratch, that's great. But if you've got something existing, really go through your website. What is the message that you've got on it? Is it still relevant? Who's changed? How has your organization changed? Look at things like your budget. What did I spend last year? Did that work? A lot of people build a website with stats, but they never actually use it. Go back and have a look at your web stats, see where the peaks and troughs were. Because you can align that with when you did newspaper or when you did a mail drop or when you did some other kind of activity or sale in store, and see whether those peaks and troughs are aligning. And if not, why not? This is a huge opportunity to just really evaluate your whole marketing strategy. And for some, it is going to be a rationalization process. I understand that a lot of people right now, their income is in the toilet, let's be fair. So we're going to have to be very careful about what we spend, and we need to know that what we spend works. So that's about targeting. So it's also about looking at the kind of publications you've been in, online or a hard copy. Who's the target audience? Does that still match up with the products and the services you've got? And is it well targeted? Because if it is, that's great. If it's not, maybe you've evolved a bit. Do you still need to be in that particular area? Give it some serious thought.
Yeah, that's perfect. So evaluate and then build a plan from there on how you can work on your business.
Yeah, and if you don't have a marketing plan or a marketing calendar, it can be very simple. If you're in retail, what's happening in each month? How are you going to plan for that? Where are your slow times? How are you going to invigorate that? It can be a very simple process. I guess it depends on what products and services you've got and who you're speaking to. You really have to understand who would most often buy your products or services, and that's your starting point, really.
Yeah, great. And how are you working differently at the moment from how you might normally work?
For me, there is a lot more Zoom meetings. This is cost effective, it's time effective for people, and I can understand that going forward more people are going to work online, but for me it's still difficult. When I'm helping someone with their marketing, I want to get in and see what the customer experience is from the minute I walk, if I'm outside the premises, what am I seeing? What's that telling me? What are they projecting? How is my physical journey through the business? What products are appealing to me? What might inspire me to move differently through that space? So it is difficult in some ways, but in other ways it is very effective. So I think a lot of people will do more meetings online, but I still don't think it will ever replace that person-to-person experience or getting out there and really looking with your eyes, with fresh eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I know you've got a background in film and TV, so I'm going to put you on the spot here. Any tips for people within Zoom on what they can do to create a better impression with people and how to engage in a more professional level, which we're all used to doing, but now it's a little bit of a change?
Okay, so the first rule of thumb is your eye really wants to be about a third of the way down the screen. It's a little bit difficult, depends on how your camera's set up. Much easier with laptops because you can position them. I theoretically should just move back to here. That's about perfect, about a third of the way down the screen. You really want the person to be fairly central. You want some good natural light. Can I see the face? There's nothing sort of spooky. The little eyes peering from beyond. Is the light even? Because you need to know where your primary source of light is. Theoretically, the best time of day in my office with this space to do this interview would have been 3 o'clock because it comes from over here. So it would be we all lit here. You don't want your dominant light to be in the back. And in my case, it's morning, so it is. So I've closed those blinds to enable this light in front of me to be doing the work. Otherwise, I'm going to be in darkness. Get rid of the clutter, anything that's going to distract from people. And also remember that this is the impression people are getting of your company. If I was able to, I would have moved this so that all my awards were in the background. All my New Zealand National Marketing Awards would have been really good to have there, but I can't physically get my screen to there. So have a think about what you're projecting to people. As a professional, clutter would indicate that you're not organised. So get rid of all of the clutter. Keep it clean, keep it simple, and try and get rid of any distracting noises or anything that could interrupt you. I've got my phone on silent. I've actually turned my washing machine off, which is a few rooms over, because the pump would be annoying and it would be distracting. So think about what's happening around you. Think about the messages you're saying. Try and give some eye contact. Again, it's very difficult. I'm talking to you as a focus on the screen.
Yeah.
And it is quite high. So actually, that's another really good point. Look at the height of your camera and what that's telling. Looking up someone's nose is pretty ugly. Looking down on them can minimize them. It's a power thing, and always with children and older people, try and get the camera here because it can make them look overwhelmed or overpowered if your camera is above them. Try and keep it out the front. So that's kind of the basics you want when you're setting yourself up. Test your audio, make sure that you can be heard. And beyond that, I'm naturally a very fast speaker, and I have worked around cameras for years, so I'm quite comfortable. Try and slow your speed down so that it gives people a chance to actually listen and understand what you're saying. And your diction goes to heck in a handbag when you speak really quickly. So those are just the basic tips of how you should interact.
Look,
and
really, really.
Nothing sells better than a smile, all right? So smile at your audience, look happy to be there, The scared possum doesn't welcome anyone.
No. Look, it's really positive, that kind of interaction, because it's a new world for people. We're working from our homes rather than our offices, which may have a different sort of a setup. So yeah, just making sure things are set up the way that you'd like to be seen on a day-to-day normal day is probably critical as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm quite lucky. This is my usual office, so my printer is here. Everything is in a comfortable space where it would normally be. So for me, COVID hasn't really stopped my ability. It hasn't stopped my ability to work, but many of my clients can't. So I'm here, round the normal working hours that I would be in, and available to help people. And actually, interestingly, just before COVID started up, I felt that Kitty Kitty was in a very, very positive business frame of mind. I had a number of inquiries from new businesses. So that's something we're just working our way through, helping them get set up, and we're continuing as normal. I've got some car signage ready for the minute we go live. It's prepared and ready for the sign writer to go. I've got building signage done, working on a website. So I can continue to operate as normal. It's just that some of my clients can't, or right now they're feeling a need to focus on their staff and other things. And I completely understand that. Staff, your people are your business, and that is the thing that we need to remember and take care of most moving forward, I think.
Yeah, look, great advice. Any favourite business books, Debs, that you can share with people, maybe with a bit of time to read at the moment?
For me, it's not so much business books. I am using this opportunity because over the years, I do a lot of professional development, a lot changes in marketing, and it operates at a very high speed. So I am part of the New Zealand Marketing Association, and I've done quite a number of their courses over the years, professional development. Things that change a lot, and I've been on these courses, so now it's just an opportunity for me to refresh myself. Advertising around alcohol, the limitations are huge and they are changing annually. So I attend a legal seminar about alcohol and food annually and try and keep up with what's happening. There's an awful lot of changes around advertising confectionery or unhealthy products to children too. So if you're in that field, you really need to understand it.
Yeah.
Simpson Grierson, who are media lawyers in Auckland, are a really good resource, and you can sign up for their newsletters. You don't have to be a customer. So I get their updates as well, and that tends to keep me abreast of any current changes. So selling alcohol on and off premise, for me, there's a lot to know, and so I will be refreshing on those.
Probably particularly relevant at the moment. With, probably particularly relevant at the moment with the home delivery of alcohol and things like that. It's going to be an interesting time for people.
Yes, it is, and I feel like there's going to be a whole bunch of new legislation probably going to appear after that. So, food law update. This is the 2017 one. I'm not sure if it was last year's. And of course, technology, marketing for Facebook.
Beautiful.
Supercharge your website, search engine optimization. Now that changes. Google changed their algorithms probably every 3 to 6 months, and what used to be true then won't be. So I do my best to stay abreast of that, but I do have experts that I confer with on a regular basis in the industry so that I can keep with that. And business to business social media marketing, that's another one that I intend to be reviewing. There's a whole bunch more of these. And of course, Advertising Standards Authority and Broadcasting Standards Authority. Blech. There's a lot of small print. There's an awful lot of small print. But these guys, actually, this is the current code of practice, really good to have a look at. And their website too is, it's very entertaining. They try and keep it light. They try and keep it easy to understand. So there's a lot of reference tools out there that as a small business you can get to, but definitely look at the Simpson and Grierson site for anything legalese. And they have actually put up, although they are media law specialists, they also do some big contract law. They have various divisions, and they've put up a lot of stuff around COVID-19 about treating your staff, managing your staff, contracts, how it's going to affect us in business. And it really is worth a read. So not so much books for me. I go online because typically what I'm doing is evolving at such a rapid rate that a book would be out of date by the time I got it.
Definitely. That's really good. And through this COVID level 4 period, how are you keeping upbeat?
It's not hard. I've got some fun clients, and they are really coming up with some inspired ways of continuing to transact or looking forward to their business. But for me, the main thing is that I get out every day with my dog. We say hi to people, you know. A lot more people are speaking in the street. I think it's just because they're glad to see a new face as well. So walking the dog for me, it's great for her, but it also is fresh air. It's fresh perspective. It's when I brainstorm and I come into work fresh. So that's my go-to, but I also enjoy a glass of wine at the end of the day.
Perfect. Look, really appreciate your time, Debs. So it was Debs Ryder from Mad Ideas. Great resource. We're lucky to have people like you and Kitty. So appreciate your time today, and look forward to catching up for wine in person.
Absolutely. Thanks, Anthony.